Whole ass is better.
Yeah, I like whole ass more. But then whole ass, asshole. Is that why it's funny? I don't know.
I don't know, just like it's more pleasing to the ear somehow.
That's definitely a no context quote there.
Something to put at the beginning of the video. So what spell should I start with?
Definitely Q.
That creates the balls, right?
Yes. Short delay, you can cast it while moving. Syndra technically doesn't have a passive until she hits level 9. Because that's the first time that you can max out an ability.
But when an ability is maxed, it gets an additional effect that like you just don't see unless you look at the passive.
Right. Since it's really easy for you to harass your opponent while doing whatever you want, like moving around a Syndra, you want to use like your Qs to push the wave while trying to hit the enemy. So if they're standing inside of the minion wave, then you can push in the wave while simultaneously harassing them. It's on a low cooldown, so it's kind of easy to do.
Okay. What should I take next?
Probably W, to be honest.
Okay. The one where you throw the balls?
You can also pick up minions. And then when you hit an enemy with it, you slow them as well. So throw a Q onto the ground. Now wait a couple of seconds. Now pick it up with W. Throw another Q on the ground. And then see, that's timing out.
Yeah.
So that's when you drop the ball. So before that happens, you want to throw the ball.
Wait, I'm so confused. What? What are we doing?
I'm just trying to get you to have extra balls on the floor, that's all.
I don't get what we're doing except pressing Q twice. Like, what does a W have to do with anything?
It picks up the ball so it doesn't disappear.
Oh, you can't have two Qs on the ground at once?
No, you can. I don't understand.
Neither do I.
So the idea is that, okay, so you throw a Q on the ground, and then you wait, because it times out. But when you pick up the ball with W, the timer doesn't go down. The ball can't disappear while you're holding on to it, even after 6 seconds, right? So you want to throw it on the ground, and then you wait a little bit, and then you pick it up with the W. And then while you're still holding the ball, you can just Q again anyways, right?
The idea is basically just to like make your ball last longer by kind of like keeping it in your pocket, sort of.
Yes, but then you're also making sure to create more so that you actually have a powerful ultimate.
Oh, okay, so it's like for your ult, not just like because.
Well, yeah. If you use your E on people without hitting them with a ball, it doesn't stun them. It just like gives them a knockback, which is still useful. But like ideally, you would hit them with the ball because it kind of does both. When you're running away from people as Syndra, like while you're running away back towards a tower, like you can still cast the Qs while you're retreating. So it kind of like disincentivizes people from chasing you because they could just take 3 damage and you're not gonna compromise your ability to get away.
I'm just not sure I really understand how to like cast a spell and move at the same time.
No, it just means it won't interrupt your movement. So like, if you click like over to the side and then while you're moving, you just hit Q.
So I'd have to tell her to like go to a specific place and then press Q?
Yes. So when you see like a cannon minion like that is about to die to a tower or to minions or something like that, what you can do, what a lot of people like to do, is that if they realize they're not going to get the CS, you can just pick it up and then throw it. Because picking it up is pretty much instantaneous and it stops it from taking any damage. It takes damage from when you throw it.
Okay.
So sometimes people will pick it up and then throw it and then cast a Q. And since there's a short delay on Q, what's going to end up happening is that the minion will hit the ground and then be hit by the Q at the same moment. And that way you guarantee that you get the CS. Throw a Q on the ground. Now pick it up and throw a Q at him. Now throw the W at him. Now ult him, or Q and then ult him. Oh, he walked away. There you go. But that was good. So you saw how, like, if you didn't have... If either you missed him with that last Q, or you didn't have that extra ball from before, then I don't think he would have died without you having to ignite him. So you have to keep in mind that people are going to be wary of you like they're gonna know when you're trying to stack the spheres, right?
Right.
So people are always gonna try and time you out. Like if you're holding on to one, like they'll try and run away, so that way you don't have the extra one. You can't slow them or anything like that. So very often when I'm playing a Syndra, you need to be decisive.
Yay for
Throw a
teamwork.
stun. There you go. Oh, nice. You totally predicted his flash, right?
Yep.
Totally. Nice. I knew it. Oh, wow, and you totally juked that Cassiopeia R. Oh my god. The best way to have gotten away from him would have been to throw a ball at your feet and then hit him with the E, and hopefully it would have stunned him because it would have shot the ball into him too. Look at the range on your E. So you can have a ball be that far away from you and then you still shoot it like as far as if it were...
So like this is not the how far it's gonna go. This is like the range of things it will throw.
Yes, it's the it's the range at which it will hit people, but it's also the range at which it will hit a ball, and then the ball can be shot way outside of that range to hit. 3 of them have big bounties on them right now.
Do people like ever make jokes about like, you know, big bounties like big booties?
I think you just did.
But like, do other people say that? Or is that not a thing that people say?
No, it's not. It's not a thing people say. Or I haven't heard it before.
Because what immediately came into my mind was like, you know, people say big booty hoe,
Okay.
like big bounty hoe. I would never call somebody that. But I mean, I heard other people say that.
You didn't call them neither booty hoes or bounty hoes? Like, or just like hoes?
I would not call anybody a hoe.
What if they were like legitimately a hoe and you really didn't like them and they were a really mean person?
I call them a bitch, not a hoe.
So Syndra is definitely one of those champions where you never have to worry about your team being like, why didn't you save your ability for next time? Because like it's her job to just straight up.
Damn, for shit.
Yes. Oh yeah, another
Whoa!
thing. Yeah. You discovered the easy way to play Syndra. You ult first and then use your E. Ooh. Nice. Nicely done. Just like that. You ulted, then you E'd. You're guaranteed to hit him with the orbs. I'm sorry, the balls. I keep saying spheres and orbs, but the theme of the stream is balls.
Yes, we have not made nearly as many puns as I was hoping we would. Yeah, if there's an easy way to do something, I'll probably find it.
Gotta make those shortcuts.
Shortcuts, yeah. I half-ass everything.
Never half-ass 2 things, just full-ass 1 thing.
Whole ass one thing. Probably akin to like hours of
Nice.
Honor 4!
It's purple.
Live and on screen.
Most often, you're going to want to start Q. The W creates, it's called command dissonance. So it just makes this little AoE around the ball. So if you're aiming on an enemy champion and you hit W, you're not going to hit them with it because it actually happens where the ball is, right?
Okay.
So you're going to want to have to throw the Q at them first and then quickly W right afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shut up.
There you go. So throw a point to your E. So when your ball is attached to you, you now get bonus armor and magic resist.
Okay.
And then if you self-cast your E, you'll also get a shield. And anything that the ball hits while traveling towards you will take a modest amount of damage. Well, you can only move it with Q and with E, right? The ball travels fastest when you use it to shield, and then if you walk too far away from it, it just instantly appears on you, and then you get the armor and magic resist right away. Having the ball be in the proper position as Orianna is definitely one of the part of her learning curve, right? Because sometimes you don't even have to necessarily hit the enemy with the ball. You can just put it into a position that's more threatening towards them.
Back.
It's because you have to self-cast it.
Oh.
Yeah, because you can throw it to teammates too, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you either have to be hovering yourself or use Alt E. Jax came in to help you out. You teleported in.
Thanks, friend.
What a boss. Your Jax is there. throw him a shield. Get close. So Jax is one of those champions that can be like the ball delivery system. So that means that since he has a low cooldown, modest range gap closer, what he can do is that you can throw the ball onto him and he carries it into the enemy team for you, and that way it makes it really easy for you to land a good ultimate. Sometimes it was frustrating that your teammate would go untargetable or they would die out of range, and then the ball would snap back to you really fast, and then you would just end up doing a sombrero, which is when you ultimate on yourself by accident, which is always really depressing to do. So her ultimate, it's called Shockwave, Command Shockwave, and then in a large area around the ball, well, as its name suggests, it creates a shockwave which pulls enemies towards the ball. Yeah, like all the way in a circle, like around it, right? So it pulls them towards the center, which makes it guaranteed that you'll hit your W. It CCs them, and it also deals like a decent amount of damage. So that's one of the reasons why people are scared of the ball, even if you hadn't, like, you're not in range to hit them with a Q, because you can walk far away from the ball and then still have agency over it, right? And all you have to do is just hit them with nice. Didn't that feel good? Oh, that's the yes you just got.
Yeah.
Sometimes your enemies will lose track of where the ball is, but since you're the Orianna player, that should never be happening, right? Her passive is that her auto attacks do bonus magic damage. That scale with AP.
So her R is kind of like Diana's E, except if her E dealt damage.
Yeah.
Yeah?
That's a good way of thinking of it. It was actually Orianna as a champion who convinced me that this game is like worth investing more time into. 'Cause I just thought that her design was just like so cool. Funnily enough, my friends were the ones actually recommending to me, saying, "Oh no, you shouldn't play Orianna. Like, you need to learn more about the game before you try and play Orianna, because there's all these things about, like we were talking about earlier, like ball placement."
Yeah, I remember you telling me too, because I wanted to buy Orianna like much earlier, and you said that she wouldn't be good for that reason. Which, like, I totally like see your point, but I also think she's way easier than Syndra.
Yeah, no, I have to agree with you on that one.
And I asked you, who's easier, Syndra or Orianna, and you said Syndra.
I did?
Yeah.
I said Orianna's more straightforward because everything happens around the ball, but then it was like harder to like master her stuff. Because, like, I don't know, to me, like, Syndra's like a lot of spam, like spamming her abilities and stuff. And it's more, oh, nice shockwave. That was great. So that got them like right at the outside range. They thought they were gonna get away, and they did not. Oh, pentakill for Jax. Try and give him a shield. Trying to enable him to get the pentakill.
Where is he?
Oh, he's dead already.
Oh. Sorry, Jax. I wish I could be as helpful to you as you were to me.
Oh, you have your ult again. You can kill this Jhin. Oh. You didn't throw the ball.
Oh.
You tried to throw it when you were too far away, so it just stayed on you. So you just did a sombrero. So Vex says that Syndra is way easier than Orianna. How do you feel about that?
I think that she's definitely easier than Orianna in some ways, and would be easier for a lot of people who are very used to playing video games a lot. Because those types of people, it's button smashing is second nature. But as that game just illustrated, Orianna comes much more easily to me.
Oh, hey, Velius. How are you? Does the title suggest a lack of such a capability as to play with balls? Well, if you've watched our YouTube video, then you would probably know that Chelsea loves dealing with the D, so I don't think it's too much of a stretch of the imagination that she has some experience playing with balls.
Not very much, though.
No.
I definitely could use some help.
So probably your best bet now is, yeah, try and pick up one of the ones that are close to you.
Okay.
Oh, don't walk into that. Oh god, they got another turret. Okay, we're gonna have to put on the carry pants.
I don't think I have carry pants. Those are not in my wardrobe. Is that all one word? Oh, thank you. What's your name? Anjoran? Anjoran. Anjoran.
Andrin.
Anjoran?
Thanks for the follow.